Okay guys, I'm making this video to show you what the assembled thing is gonna look like. Also, I'm just quickly going to try to point out the pitfalls you might have during the assembly. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to the eye right now. Reason being is because the tape hasn't been peeled off. Once you peel off the tape, it's gonna be nice and smooth. The instruction manual, it doesn't clearly show in the first step, and actually the first time I assembled I made the same mistake. So the panels number 6, 8, and 7, it's going to be the side panel, so it's going to be number 6. Number 8 is going to be in there, and then the panel number 7 is going to be on the side. They have two pre-cut holes that are going to hold the suction cups, these suction cups. So you have to make sure that when you install them, the two pre-cut holes that hold the suction cups, they have to be facing up, because if they're facing down, you just won't be able to match it with the same level that these panels have. So again, panels number 6 and 7, when you install them, just make sure that the holes that hold the suction cups, they have to be facing up. Okay guys, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take panel number 3 and we're gonna install the legs. 5 legs with these screws. Okay, once we install the legs, there's gonna be 5 of them. We're gonna flip it over and we're gonna install the screws, these ones, along with the wooden pegs. So wooden peg, and then we're gonna put the screws in. We're gonna do it for all of the holes you see. Okay, now we're gonna take 3 panels. So it's gonna be 6, 7, and panel number 8. We're gonna install panel number 6 first. It's gonna go on the side. Panel number 8 is gonna go in the middle. Then panel number 7 is gonna go on the other end. Now we're gonna take the round locks, and we're gonna secure them in place. Just a side note, these screws have very long thread, so you can adjust how far it's sticking out. If there is not enough sticking out and the lock is not closing in properly, you can simply take the panel off, unscrew the screw just a little bit, and this way this mechanism can lock in properly. We're gonna do this for all 3 panels. Now we're gonna take panel number 1. This is gonna go on the top of the one that we just partially assembled, and we're gonna do exactly the same thing. We're gonna take the black screws, the wooden pegs. We're gonna install them along the entire surface, so all of them, and then we're gonna put it on top. Now we're gonna attach the back panels. Gonna slide them in. Now we're gonna take panel number 1. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the top panel. We're gonna secure it with the lock mechanism. Now we're gonna take panel number 16 and number 10. These are gonna be the front drawers for the stand. We're gonna take the small screws and the closing mechanism. And now we're just gonna install all 4 of them. Now it's time to install the front doors. We're gonna take small screws. There's gonna be 4 of them for each of the hinges. And then the key thing to remember is that you see these 2 holes on the side. These holes are gonna be for the open and close mechanism. You have to make sure that you don't mix up the doors, because these holes, they must be on each side. So make sure they're not on the inside. They have to be on the both left and right side. I'm gonna take the 4 screws. Make sure the doors are properly aligned. Nothing is sticking out. And then we're just gonna screw them in. So now we install the second door. Again, it's 2 hinges. On the inside, it's gonna take 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Outside 2. Same goes for this one. We're gonna install the hinge that's gonna support the door. It's gonna take 2 screws here, and then 2 screws here. Now, when you close this front drawer, you see how it's not leveled with the main panel? The reason why it's not leveled is because these hinges, they come not set by default. You have to adjust them. So what you have to do, there is going to be 2 screws on the inside. So we're gonna take the further screw, we're gonna undo it, and we're gonna push it in and screw it back in. Make sure it's nice and firm. We're gonna do the same thing for this one. Again, it's the second screw. We're gonna undo it, push the drawer in, and screw it back in. Now, when you close it, it's still not level. So now what we have to do is the first screws, we're gonna screw them in. Basically what's gonna happen, it's gonna push the door up. By pushing up, it's gonna level with the main panel. We're gonna do the same thing for this one. We're gonna screw. You see how the door is coming up? There we go. Now we're gonna check. Almost. We're gonna give it a few more turns on each side. Make sure each side is level. Let's try again. Almost. There we go. Perfect. Actually, this side is a little bit low, so let's give it one more push. There we go. Perfect level. So again, we're gonna take screw number 1, undo it, push the drawer in, screw it back in. We're gonna repeat and do the same thing for this one. After that, we're gonna take the second screw and we're gonna screw it in so that the drawer can be lifted up and be leveled with the main panel. There we go. Now we're gonna take panels number 9. There's gonna be 2 of them, and we're gonna pre-install the screws with the wooden pegs. So there's gonna be 2 screws and 2 pegs on this side, 2 screws and 2 pegs on that side. We're gonna put this on. Like that. There we go. We're gonna take the round locks. Make sure you lock them in. Remember what I told you about the long screws on the thread. If you can't see the head of the screw, you can easily take the panel off, undo the screw just a little bit. This way there's going to be a little bit more head sticking out, and then you can secure it properly. Gonna take the last one. There we go. Now we're gonna take the first panel that we pre-assembled. That's gonna be the top, the high gloss panel. We're gonna put it make sure the holes they match. There we go. Okay, so also when you're putting this panel on, we have to make sure that these holes, they're facing the front. So don't mix it up. They have to be facing the front because we're gonna be installing the front panel onto them. Now we're gonna take panels number 4 and 5. These are the high gloss panels. They're gonna go on the side. By the way, well, you see how like the surface is looking a little bit unpresentable? Once you peel this tape off, it's gonna be very nice and shiny. They put the tape on for protection. Once you peel it off, it's gonna become very shiny. But keep the tape on for now. Okay, so panel number 4, just make sure that these holes for the lock mechanism is gonna be facing the front. We're gonna lift up top panel and slide this in. There we go. Make sure it's nice and firm. Now we're gonna go to this side. Gonna take this panel, slide this on. Now we have to lock in the screws using the same mechanism as before. We're gonna take the round screws, the round nuts, and lock it in. Now we're going to take this long panel, it's going to go on the front. We're going to pre-install the screws, the wooden pegs, nothing too difficult. And then we're going to put it right on the front, like that. There we go. Now keep in mind, so it's screw peg, so it's skipping one. Just keep that in mind because when you guys going to be securing them with the locks, you just have to kind of try to feel the hole out and then lock it in. Same, so screw, peg, screw. So again, screw, peg, screw. Peg, screw. There we go. Now we're gonna take the side panels. Same goes for this one. Just reach into the back, find the hole. There we go. Okay, now it's time to install the LED strip. This is actually the easiest step to do. So we're gonna peel off the protective film. It's gonna be a 3M sticky tape on it. And we're just gonna, there's actually, I think they marked the spot where you're supposed to install it. But there we go. I'm just gonna feed the wire to the back. Make sure it's nice, holding nice and firm. Now we're gonna grab the second strip. This one difficult to peel off. Gonna do the same thing with, just make sure the cord, it's facing the middle. Gonna feed the cord to the back of the stand. If you have a double-sided tape, what I would do, because the strip is about this long, I would actually fix the cord to the back like this. This way, like that. This way, first of all, it's not gonna show underneath when you're looking at the TV stand. And secondly, just gonna secure it this way, the wires don't just, hang loose. We're gonna grab now the remote, and then this is going to be the receiver for the signal. Now this is a very important step. I don't know why, but people always miss it. Each of one of these ones, they're going to have an arrow. You have to make sure that the arrows, they match. What we're going to do, we're going to peel it back. The contacts are very fragile, so you have to be very careful. We're going to flip it over, carefully insert the prongs, and lock it. Now we're going to do this exactly same thing for this one. We're going to peel it open, grab it by the prongs, put this in, and lock it. There we go. Now the LED are connected. Going to plug it into the base. And voila,